Hi and welcome. You're in the right place if you are a people leader or you're responsible for developing people leaders in the business. Now, my name's Rachel Pickworth. I'm from Mad Leaders, and Mad Leaders stands for Make a Difference Leaders. And over the last 20 years, my role has been to elevate leaders in terms of their leadership and management skills, in terms of their career progression, and in terms of their confidence and mindset around management and leadership and being highly effective. So I want to share with you why I created this program. You're probably thinking another leadership and management program, they're dime a dozen and there are hundreds, if not thousands out there. So why would I bother to create a new program? And I'll tell you why. And I want to share two key points. First, before I do that, I want to ask you, if you're a leader yourself or if you're responsible for leaders in the business, is there a clear set of systems or processes in place in terms of the leadership delivery in the business? Because what happens in organizations is there are finance systems, there are HR systems, there are operation systems, there are delivery systems, and so on. Yet we don't have systems and tools and strategies in place for management and leadership delivery in the business. And working with leaders, I've been on the Telstra Top Talent Identification Panel. I've delivered career planning and progression workshops across government. I've done all sorts of interesting things, as well as being a leadership coach. And the thing that I notice is that organizations in general don't have systems in place to support leaders, managers to do their job well. They're kind of expected just to run with it. So have you got systems in the business to support leaders, or you if you're a leader, to be highly effective? Because my experience with working with from CEO across to team leaders over the last 20 years is there is a massive gap, and leadership development tends to be focused on some theory and it's missing the practical know-how to lead and manage effectively. So there are two key points I want to share here. Number one is what I recognize, and I've just talked about a lack of systems, but what I recognize is that leaders in a business are expected to do so many things, yet they're never given the tools or the know-how. So that's the first point. So going deeper in that, I'm talking about leaders not knowing how to get feedback in the business, yet they're expected to go and get it. So go and get feedback. Feedback's really important. But how does a leader do that? What's the framework around that? What's the etiquette around that? And also, they're busy. So when do they do that? Leaders are expected to provide feedback. Leaders are expected to run key meetings in the business. They're expected to go and get mentors. They're expected to have great time management. They're expected to translate the strategic vision. They're expected to run a highly effective one-on-ones with their people. They're expected to delivery plan, and so on and so on and so on. They're expected to do a lot of the leadership and management activity, but have they ever been shown how? The how to. That's my number one point. The second thing I want to say is that often the spend on leadership development I see is almost at the wrong end. So one, it's not necessarily focusing on the right thing. So that was point one. Point two is who are being developed in the business. So as an example, yesterday I was asked to apply for a tender submission for a large organisation. When I say large, 3,000 people. So when I was invited to apply for this tender, and I opened it up and I read through it and I thought, classic, it's the same thing I see all the time, is they showed the intended investment for the organisation in terms of leadership, and the people, the levels within the organization. And so the investment was going to be made at senior leadership once again. And there was very little focus on the team leaders and managers in this organization, and that's typical. So we have the team leaders and managers with the least experience, who are often technical experts being promoted up into the business and aren't really being invested in. And they're the ones who lack the know-how. So I want to ask you, where is the spend going in your business? Is it the team leaders and managers that are being invested in? Or if there is spend there, is it the theory of emotional intelligence and situational leadership? Or are they given the tools, the know-how that sets them up for success? So there's a real gap there. And I could see with this tender invitation yesterday that there's going to be about a $5,000 to $20,000 spend in each individual at that senior leader group, with that senior leader group. And there was no spend or investment going into the team leaders and management. And these are the people who are managing the bulk of the workforce, the bulk of delivery. Yet there's a lack of spend and investment there. So although this program, Elevate in 90 Days, is perfect for any leader, any people leader in an organization, it's ideal for that team leader and manager level. The cost is realistic, the investment is achievable for an organization, but it also really sets the team leaders and managers up with the know-how so that they know how to structure their calendar, they know how to translate the strategic vision down to their team, they know how to run key quarterly, monthly meetings and what to put in those, because I provide all the tools, the agendas. I give the know-how. I provide the one-to-one meeting template. I provide a template for delivery planning. I provide all of the information around career planning, building brand and visibility of the individual, but not only the individual, the team as well. A key communication strategy template that goes out to key stakeholders in the business to build the brand and demonstrate achievement and provide acknowledgement to key people in the business. And what I've noticed is that organizations have not been providing this information, which is why I have built this program. I wanted to provide the people I was coaching who were struggling, because let's face it, leaders are so busy. They are just every day having to deal with so much. The legs are under the water going like this and the head's up, and there are meetings and there's email and the stakeholders and there's just so much that needs to be handled day to day that leaders can get stuck in the operational day-to-day reactive business, and they're not set up for success with the frameworks, the tools, the structure to elevate them to be strategic, to be well planned, to be organized, and to be in a state of confident calmness in the face of all that they have to face as a leader. And if you're a leader yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Every single leader that you speak with, I mean, rarely do I hear from a leader that I'm not busy. It's the opposite. Generally, leaders are flat out and are busy. And what we need to do is empower them and empower you, if this is you, with simple systems, tools, structure, so that leaders can be highly effective. So that's what this program is all about. It's a 90-day program. It's delivered virtually. There are 4 live workshops and there are lessons in a portal. The other key thing I'll mention is that managers come along for the ride. Managers of participants come along for the ride. Managers need to be involved. What we know is statistically, if a manager of a participant in a program is involved, then it's far more effective for the individual in terms of embedding that learning and being able to apply that moving forward. So what we're after here is growth. We want growth in the leader participating in this program, and we want the leader to be highly effective. So whether you're interested in this program for you or you're interested for people you're leading or both, this is a very powerful tool. This is what Department of Transport have signed up for, to roll this program out to team leaders and managers over 2020, 2021 and 2022, because they recognised that there was a lot of investment going to that senior leadership group, a lack of investment in the people leading delivery and the workforce, and that these people needed to be set up for success. So I invite you to take a look down the page. There is another video, by the way, that's going to start immediately after this video that's going to go into the detail. It's about a 35-minute video. I'm not saying if you haven't got time, you don't need to watch it, but if you're wanting the detail to understand exactly what happens in each lesson and the leadership capabilities framework that's used and the tools, etc. If you want to know about that, watch the next video. It starts immediately, automatically after this. But if you don't have time for that, I get it. The other option is you can jump in my calendar and make a time with me to talk about this program for yourself or for leaders in the business. So welcome again. I hope this has been perhaps insightful, has prompted some thinking for you. And I look forward to seeing you in the program or perhaps seeing you in my calendar and we can have a chat about it. So welcome. Great to have you here and enjoy the next video. Bye for now.